Okay, so for this video, what I'm going to try to do is just explain the action of an add tech, because there is some confusion in here because of the if statements for the null values, the else statement, the try, and the catch. It is a little confusing in the nesting, so I wanted to kind of cover it. So when we're adding a technician, if we fill out all the fields but we leave one empty, what we want to check back to is handle the click action of the add tech button on the form, which is this button right here. We want to get all the values from the fields, these here. We want to validate that all the text boxes have values in them. Now this one is going to catch that the password is null, and that's going to make this error message show up that all text boxes are required fields. Please try again. So let's watch it. Let's add a technician, and that's perfect. The error message does come up and says all boxes are required. So let's go back and let's add in something in that box, and let's make this email address a duplicate email address that's already in the tech support database. So when it does this, it's going to get past here because there are no null values anymore. It's going to come down into the else, and it's going to try to add the technician. So let's try it. Your attempt failed. So it actually got past here. It was not successful. It was in the catch that if the execute is unsuccessful because there is a duplicate email address attempted, that's the only way this could fail. It catches that error message, which is this SQL integrity constraint violation, duplicate entry, Allison for key email. So it got that message and it put it into our duplicate email error. So that walks through the try and the catch. Now you will need to go into your errors folder. Let me open it up. This is your main tech support folder. We need our errors folder. You want to have a duplicate email made up. Now if you'll notice, let's make this larger so I can show you. If you didn't make a duplicate product for the last one, you can use your database error. Let's just move it over to the right. And let's pull up duplicate error. It's on this side. Database errors over here. Duplicate emails over here. So as you can see, it's pretty much, I just took, copy and pasted it. I changed that line to sorry. I have my P class, all my paragraph tags. It's pretty much just the same as it was over here. I just copied and pasted it and named it duplicate email error and saved it in that exact same file with the other errors. So you want to make sure that you've got them all there in the errors folder. Okay, so let's go back to tech support, tech manager, and we're in the index page. Take this back over. We're going to close out our database there because we don't need it anymore. So our index page, and that was our duplicate email. Okay. Something else I wanted to cover because it was something that I saw a couple of different times from different people. Form action. On your add technician form, you want to make sure that all of your values that you have, name them. First name is first name, last name, email, password, phone. When you name it first name, PHP, when it gets submitted, is going to take your name that you saved it with, and it's going to add a $sign to the front of it. So you want to make sure that it can recognize those values when it's doing that add tech function. First name, these are all the variables. These actually came from the name in your text boxes. So you want to make sure those match up. You want to insert your values using your column names. Your values have semicolon or have the colons in front of them. And then we want to prepare our query. We want to bind all the values being changed and then close our cursor. So that just kind of walks through. You want to make sure on your tech add form that you have form action. See how it highlights all the way through? Everything in between here is going to be passed. First name, last name, email, phone, password, upon submission of the add technician button. Okay, and we've looked at the index page already. Looked at the duplicate email code. Make sure that you have tech manager in your main directory to point to your folder correctly. Your tech list. There really wasn't anything except for making sure in your delete button your action is set to your action is set to delete text, and that is grabbing with the tech ID, because if you'll notice in your index page, for your delete tech action, right here, if the value is delete text, let's move that back over so we can see it. Sorry about this. I wanted to pull back up the tech list so we can see the button. Let's move it over. Okay, perfect. So let's get the index page back. If the if action is delete text, which the value inside the delete button is delete text, if that's been clicked, then get the tech ID, which is in the button, which is on that row of the table. So if the delete button is on the same row, then it's going to grab that row's values by the tech ID, and it's going to use the delete function, delete the tech with the tech ID matching the delete button, and then redisplay it. So you want to make sure that all of your forms contain the right values, that you've named your value correctly, that you're passing your values, and that your submit button is within the form action. You want to make sure that your values on your forms are actually for the button on your form. They don't really describe your form itself. For your program to know where the show add form is, show tech form is, it actually understands that from right up here, where you tell it handle the click action of an add tech link. If the if action is a show add form, then you're telling it right here, this is my show add form. Show add form itself doesn't actually say show add on it, it says add technician. So if you have any questions at all, this isn't due until Sunday, but you will want to make sure that you nest in your if, your else, and your try catch. Create your duplicate email error so that you can handle any duplicate email address attempts. Otherwise, let me know if you have any questions. Thanks a lot, guys. Good luck on this assignment. I'll see you soon.